Welcome to Table Talk, conversations with a Catholic perspective. And now, the host of Table Talk, Mark Sochet.
Al and Doris Tabor had some old friends visit their home in Warsaw, Missouri. Before they knew it, they were on a plane bearing gifts and good wishes from St. Anne's Parish to people they had yet to meet in a Catholic parish in the Hoima Diocese in Uganda. The Tabors join us this morning to talk about their mission trip to Africa. Well, good morning and welcome to Table Talk.
Good morning. Thank you.
The reason we're talking this morning is you people just got back from Africa. We want to find out what drew you to this in the first place.
We have friends in our old parish in Richmond, Missouri, that had came to Warsaw, and he's a pharmacist, and we had lunch with them, and they was telling us about our trip, and I guess God just moved us to try to do something and help. And so we just started going to meetings and finding out more about it, because Jim and Jean Smith was having some meetings because they were preparing for the next trip. And we just, I think God just moved us in a way that we decided we wanted to go try and help do it.
These mission trips came out of the parish, Immaculate Conception in Richmond. How did that start? It's with the pastor, right?
Yes, with the pastor. He's from Uganda. He's been in the States for 18 years, and he's started the foundation to help the people back in Uganda where he came from.
The foundation, Doris, you're referring to as Be a Christ for the Poor?
That's correct.
And what exactly does that foundation do?
They do a lot of things, like they've started a pig project for the orphans. 2 different parishes they have a pig project. And there's a lot of orphans in Uganda and Africa, period, because of AIDS.
Uh-huh.
So he has started the pig project where they give pigs to the orphans, and then when the orphans are placed in extended families or anyone else that will take the orphans in and raise them, they give them pigs, and then that's a way that the kids can give something to the people that are helping take care of them. They raise the pigs, and hopefully they'll have more pigs, and they can sell them, and this is a way they can make some money, and to help send the kids to school.
One good example is a boy who received a couple of pigs, and he never thought he'd ever be able to go to high school even, because the school is paid through the 3rd grade there, and then you have to pay after that. But he has since sold his piglets and raised them, I guess, and sold them, and he's got a cow, and plus the pigs now, and then the cow's having the 2nd calf, and he sells milk, and he says now he thinks he'll be able to go to college because of the 2 pigs.
How do they get these pigs? They're bought through donations?
They have sows and boars that they raise the pigs themselves.
And
each of these 2 or 3 parishes has 2 or 3 sows and a boar, and that they raise their own pigs.
Then they give the piglets away to the kids, to the orphans, when they place them in.
When they're weaned.
St. John the Baptist Parish in Balingi has that's one reason we went down there, is to work on a new piggery, that they enlarge it so they could raise more pigs. And we laid bricks and did some work at that parish. So they would enlarge their piggery so they could have more pigs to give away.
And then talking about giving away pigs, it's my understanding that these kids, these orphans who received the 2 piglets, at some point they return the gift when they get a litter down the road somewhere, that they donate back to the cause, which would go to another orphan. Is that correct?
We think
that's correct.
So that's another way in which they keep the whole project moving.
That's right. Right. Uh-huh.
Now, I take it this is a very rural area that you're going to. What can you tell us about the area?
It's purely rural. We were 11 miles where we stayed with the parish we were visiting, and it was 11 miles from the Homa, which is where the bishop's house is, and this is the diocese of Homa. And that road is just whatever, it's this clay road.
Uh-huh.
Usually it took 30 minutes to get that 11 miles. One time it took us an hour to get that 11 miles in the morning when we were going down to the parish. So it's very rural, and one of the projects they want to do there is get a well, because now the women and children spend half of their time going to a spring, which the state has concreted and got where they can't hurt it, and they get the water coming out of the spring, and it's a quarter of a mile from the parish, and people from 2 or 3 miles come there to get water, and then carry it back to their homes on their heads. We're hoping that one of the projects is to get a well in the parish whenever they get the electricity hooked up. Electricity runs through the property right in front of the front part of the parish property, but it's going to cost a couple of $1,000 just to get the electricity and the meter set. And so that's one of the first projects we want to do after the piggery.
Uganda is a long ways away. It's a difficult trip. It's not that cheap. Conditions are rustic at best when you get there. Why did you do this? I mean, was this a dream of yours for years to go to Africa, or you just kind of, like you say, the spirit caught you, or what?
That's it. We never ever thought we would go to Africa. I mean, I have traveled a lot around to Europe and all Australia and a lot of different places, but I never ever thought I would go to Africa. But yeah, we just got caught up in the fact that the pictures that they had shown of the children and the people over there, I mean, it just broke your heart, and you felt like you needed to go try to do something to help them.
How did you find the people, Doris?
Oh, they were wonderful. They were so friendly and so appreciative of everything we did. When you got there, they danced and sang for you. Every place we go, they had a wonderful, warm welcome for you. The children were just wide-eyed, and they hugged you, and we took some gifts over for them, candy, and we took religious gifts over. We took a lot of rosaries. They love the rosaries, and religious articles and crucifixes. We took a lot of religious articles over. And then we also took candy and other stuff for the kids. But they would get on their knees for a piece of candy and thank you. So it was very humbling.
I read a piece of someone's report on the trip, and they were talking about the Sunday liturgy that they attended, and it's a little different than one that we would participate in back here, in celebration and in length, right?
Yes, oh yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Sunday Mass is very long, but it was beautiful service, although a lot of it they did in their native tongue, and they was trying to translate. Of course, the Mass is the same anywhere you go.
Right.
I mean, the consecration and all that is exactly the same. But they do talk a lot more, and the music was just beautiful. The singing was just unbelievable, how the people all gathered and sang. And in the little parish of Balindi where we visited, right now they're having Mass in a tin shed. I mean, it's very rustic tin shed, because their church that they was having Mass in blew over. So they are in the process of, they were digging foundation when we was there to try to raise money now to build a new church. But the church that the building they're having Mass in now is just very rustic. They have some old broken bricks laid on the ground and just benches in there for seats. And their candle is a coal oil lantern on the table on the altar.
Mm-hmm. So
it's just very, very rustic.
Well, Go ahead.
All their meals outside, or they've got a little house that they cook their meals in the parish in Balindi. On the ground, it's all on two rocks. They build a fire under it, and that's what they set their pots on to cook beans and rice and whatever they're cooking that day for a meal. So they're still, really very primitive in that area as far as their cooking is concerned.
How did this experience affect you two? I mean, how did it change you?
Just made us appreciate a whole lot what we've got, for one thing. You just can't imagine. I mean, to come back and just turn on a light switch or go to the faucet and turn on the faucet, and get water. I mean, it really makes you appreciate what we have here in the United States of America.
Well,
I think it makes us want to work harder and to try to help people less fortunate than we are.
And it sounds like you've already made a commitment to do that, working with the Be a Christ for the Poor Foundation. Al, you're working on a video, you told me?
Yes, we're going to have about a two-hour video when I get through with it that covers our trip, and the last thing on the video is that our 2 weeks are up, and we're now returning to Missouri and Texas, and we thank the Lord that we were able to go over there, and we will use our experience to keep reminded of the Be a Christ to the Poor and help that foundation.
Well, what would you tell other people that might come across the opportunity to go to Uganda or to any kind of mission territory, a culture very different than our own?
We think everybody should go over there and have the experience. It was unbelievable. We took our 17-year-old daughter, and I think it has made a granddaughter. And I think it's made an impression on her that will last her the rest of her life. She was just so amazed about how they live over there, and the people and everything, and how friendly they was. And
they're very happy people. They have absolutely nothing, but they're happy. They're joyous. They're giving. They're loving, and yet they have nothing. Hardly enough to eat, and their houses are mud and wood, but they're happy.
They're willing to share with you
Yes.
something of what they've got, which isn't much.
I am sorry, because I find this most interesting, but we are out of time already. I want to thank both of you for sharing your time this morning. We wish you the best of luck with your continued work on the foundation, and we hope that just listening to you all will inspire some other people to do the same.
Thank you very much.
Our guests this morning were Al and Doris Tabor. For more information on piggery projects and their trip to Uganda, go online to beachristforthepoor.org. That's all lowercase, beachristforthepoor.org. Until next time, this is Mark Soche reminding you that there's always a place at our table.
Table Talk is a production of the Missouri Knights of Columbus and the Catholic Diocese of Jefferson City. Join us again next week for Table Talk.